So now we're on to the right coronary arteries. And again, you can double check to see what this looks like. I'll just maximize this. So turn off the crosshair, and we'll see that there's many more contour groups here. It might look like some of them are overlapping, but if you get really close up, you'll see that they aren't. And another guideline is to, earlier I mentioned that the paths don't really need to intersect, but you will want your contour groups, especially if you have one vessel bifurcating off of another, you want that to sort of fit into the other vessel. This just ensures that when you make the model, there's not going to be a gap or floating vessel branch there. Okay, I think that this one was the correct one. I'm going to import this one, open Kharche, and I think that should be all of them. All right, so now if we just turn on the lofting preview for each vessel, we can get an idea of what this will look like. Well, an idea of what the model will look like. So I'm going to make this bigger, and then I think, yeah, we can see that it's connected here. So what I was talking about earlier is just to make sure that the vessel junctions are connected. Turn on the lofting preview for each of these so that we can see what it looks like. And there we go, one more. All right, so we've got all of that here. And if we just make this a little bigger, yeah, we can see that all of our vessels are nice and connected. So this is what we'll want to do when we're creating the contour groups. The reason why we have contour groups going into the bigger vessels at junction points so that the vessel surfaces would connect, as you can see here. So you can just double check this to make sure it looks okay. And then we can turn it off to get ready to create our model. All right, so what we can do now is, now that once you're happy with all of your contour groups, then you double check to see that all of them intersect. What you can actually do is, along the way, if there's any issues with any of them, the best step to fix the segmentations before creating the model is just to turn on the lofting preview and change the contour grouping, see if once it's fixed, does the lofting preview look a little bit better, or is it more accurate, and then continue on from there. So for models, we're going to create a model. So we've completed our contour groups, and again, the lofting preview gave us an idea of what the model will look like, so we can now create the model. The model type will usually be polydata, and then you can name the model. I'll just name it coronary model. So now, right now, it's empty. We won't see anything just yet. And usually when you're viewing the model, you want to view it in 3D because the operations that will perform involve smoothing over, and it's just easiest to see in 3D with the crosshairs off. So we will create a model, and I want to use all of them because we double checked and they were all okay. And these you can enter values if you'd like, but I'm just going to stick with the default, and I'll click OK. And this model will take quite some time to generate, but while you're waiting, just give it some time and let it load in. And while we are waiting for the model to load, if you are creating these, if you're using the data from the coronary normal clinical case project, when we practiced with that one, we did run into some issues with the right coronary arteries and any of the branches not showing up too well. So all we needed to do for that was, I can actually just go ahead and show you. So for any of the segmentations, let's say we go to the right coronary. Okay, and I'm going to turn the model off for now. So if we go to this, you'll see that there's lofting parameters. And if for whatever reason the model isn't creating properly for a particular vessel, something you can try is changing the lofting method. So instead of nerves, you can use spline. But in our case, since it was okay, we're just going to keep it as is. And then I'm going to go back to my model. And turn off crosshair. Okay, so now we can work on the model. So now, as soon as whichever step of the pipeline you're on, you'll see that if you click on that file, a tab to work on that section will appear. So if, at first glance it looks all right, but if we go closer, you'll see that these vessel junctions look quite unnatural. So realistically, we wouldn't have vessels that just connect like this, connect this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to smooth it over. And to do that, we will use a combination of local operation tools. So when we're using local ops, we'll want to highlight the junction that we're working on. So if you ever are unsure which junction it is that we're doing or that you're working on, you can just try and look at the model, and you know that this side is the right, so that's the right coronary. This is the left coronary. So we want to highlight the cap. The cap is just the part of the vessel that connects to another one. So let's say we wanted to work on smoothing the left coronary artery cap, so this junction. So we go to our list of faces, and